Arman was a young man living in a small mountain village. Unlike the other villagers, he was not satisfied with ordinary life. Every day he would wake up at sunrise, walk to the river, and watch the water flow. The river seemed to whisper secrets of the world beyond the mountains. He dreamed of exploring places no one in the village had ever seen. His parents, though loving, warned him that life outside the village could be dangerous. But Arman had a heart full of curiosity, and he could not ignore the call of adventure. One morning, he packed a small bag with bread, cheese, and a few tools, and quietly left his home. The villagers were still asleep. He followed the river downstream, listening to the sound of birds and feeling the morning breeze. Every step took him further from the familiar and closer to the unknown. By noon, he reached a forest he had never seen before. The trees were tall, and sunlight barely touched the forest floor. Arman felt both fear and excitement. He used a small map he had drawn from stories his grandfather told him to navigate through the woods. As the day went on, he found a clearing where a small deer was drinking from a stream. The deer looked up, but did not run away. Arman quietly approached and noticed colorful flowers he had never seen. He realized that the world outside his village was filled with wonders. That night, he built a small fire and slept under the stars. He thought about his family and the village he had left behind. Though he missed them, he knew this journey was his destiny. The next morning, he continued walking and reached a vast valley. In the valley, there were farmers working on the land and children playing near a lake. Arman introduced himself, and the villagers welcomed him warmly. He helped them with their daily chores and learned new skills like fishing and bread making. Weeks passed. Arman traveled further, visiting small towns and learning languages and crafts. He met a wise man named Rafik who taught him about navigation and the stars. Arman realized that knowledge was just as valuable as courage. One evening, as Arman sat by a campfire near a cliff, he looked at the horizon and noticed a city in the distance. Its towers glimmered in the sunset. He decided that his next journey would take him there, but he promised himself to return home one day, carrying stories and wisdom to share with his village. Months later, Arman returned to his village. The villagers could hardly recognize him. He had grown taller, stronger, and wiser. He shared tales of mountains, rivers, forests, and cities far beyond their imagination. Children listened with wide eyes, and elders nodded in admiration. Arman did not stop dreaming. He knew that adventure would continue as long as there was curiosity in his heart. And from that day on, he became a symbol of courage and learning, showing that even a small village boy could explore the world and return with knowledge, kindness, and stories worth telling for generations.